And this Sunday, it's a dinosaur encore.
Again!
Call your friends and family. It's their chance to see tonight's
Scientific link. Many believe pollution could be contributing to the children's speech problems. Jay Schatz spent the past 3 months listening to the children of Lower Price Hill and asking the experts, why can't these kids talk?
And what's your name?
Ella.
Joshua? Can you tell me again?
Ella.
Joshua. What's your favorite cartoon?
Mr. Toddles.
What is it? I can't understand. Which is your favorite?
Mr. Toddles.
What do you like to do in school?
Paint.
Paint? What else?
Playing the black carrot.
Playing what?
The black carrot.
How old are you? How many fingers? Can you say it? How old are you? How old? Stephen, Michael, Donovan, and Joshua are all 5 years old, all born and raised in Lower Price Hill. All are at an age when they should be talking in complete sentences. But they are 4 of the many children in Lower Price Hill who cannot put more than just a few words together.
Okay? Pop, pop, corn. Corn. Very good. They can't communicate so that you can understand them. They can't use sentences, they can't talk.
Speech therapists Gina Demery and Joyce McClymont work with the children of Lower Price Hill, teaching them what other 4- and 5-year-olds already know.
Okay, how much money do you want? You have to tell me.
1, 2, 3, 4.
4 cents? Can you tell me that?
4
Cents. Okay.
Kids who need help talking come to the Santa Maria Center in the heart of Lower Price Hill. Although the therapists here work in other neighborhoods with all types of kids, Lower Price Hill is a challenge. Not only is this one of Cincinnati's poorest, dirtiest neighborhoods where Appalachians struggle to raise families, the children of Lower Price Hill are different.
The articulation problems are a lot more severe in this area as opposed to other areas. It's not just a few sounds that the children are misproducing. There's a lot of sounds and they're completely, at times, unintelligible.
Good. Say again. Ear. Okay, now I want you to say E. Look at me. E. Good.
Data from Head Start programs indicates speech problems like Stephen's are more common in Lower Price Hill. 1 out of every 4 kids in Head Start here need speech help. That's nearly twice the city average. For Josh, that means therapy sessions every week for the past 2 years just to learn how to ask for a cookie.
Your baggage.
Why does a 5-year-old like Joshua have so much trouble with such simple words? And why do so many other kids here in Lower Price Hill have the same problem? Well, what we've found is a growing body of evidence that suggests pollution hanging over Lower Price Hill plays a big role in the kids' problems. And while no absolute direct scientific link has been made, many now believe pollution plays a big part in this neighborhood, giving birth to a generation of kids who can't talk.
But that one in the hind, no.
What's that again?
The one in the gray coat and that one in front.
The one thing Michael has in common with other Lower Price Hill kids are ear infections. Lots and lots of ear infections. Data from Children's Hospital shows Lower Price Hill kids under the age of 5 are 5 times more likely to have upper respiratory problems or ear infections than the same age group in other neighborhoods. Dr. Charles Meyer says pollution could be partly to blame.
Certainly pollution probably plays a similar role that allergies do in the sense that they are or can be an irritant to upper respiratory system, can cause inflammation in the upper respiratory system.
Because of the ear infections, many of these children grow up with fluid constantly in their ears. It's as if they were listening to a conversation with their heads underwater. So while a healthy child would hear this,
what'd you do today in school?
a child with an ear infection and fluid in his ears might hear this.
So the child has more difficulty figuring out what's important and what's not important to learning speech, to learning language, and most children do this on their own.
And learning how to speak is more difficult for the kids of Lower Price Hill because of the air they breathe.
On any given morning, you can wake up to a beautiful day or a total stench.
As I talked with Paula Seamers, mother of two, community activist, I took a deep breath and knew exactly what she meant.
What's the smell coming across right now?
That's the painting line.
This is paint?
Mm-hmm.
Because I can smell it. It was fine for a while, and now all of a sudden...
The wind's changed, and it's blowing this way. And you can see that the smoke from the stacks are coming this way, too, so this screams...
Paula Seamers has fought the polluters of Lower Price Hill, and there are a lot to fight. 93 different pollution sources are registered with the Ohio EPA. Even the sewer district was a polluter by burning toxic, hazardous liquid waste. And 75%, 3/4 of Lower Price Hill, is zoned for heavy industry.
Every house on this block is affected by pollution physically in one way or another. There is somebody who has a chronic illness, and it's inevitably a lung problem, an upper respiratory problem. This is not exaggerated. This is facts. If they think we're exaggerating, do as I've done. Go door to door. I have gone door to door talking to my neighbors, and I've documented this. Almost every household is affected, and it's usually the children. We can't do this to our kids. We can't.
Give me a dolphin.
But kids like Donovan can't avoid the pollution. They breathe it. They play in it. Plans for a community garden inside Lower Price Hill's only playground were canceled. The soil contained too much lead for vegetables, not too much, though, for kids. The neighborhood school sits right across the street from metal treating companies using toxic chemicals. And when Donovan plays baseball, right next to Lower Price Hill's biggest polluter, Queen City Barrel, he gets exercise, then gets sick.
He throws up when he runs. Well, on Sundays when he's down there in Queen City Barrel's close and he's playing and running, he won't throw up.
That doesn't surprise sociologist Phil Obermiller, who has studied how big polluters have harmed the little kids of Lower Price Hill. So what happens to this young man because of the pollution? I mean, what do our studies show is most likely to happen to him?
He's going to have a tough time growing up without a lot of infections. He's going to have a tough time making it in school.
What isn't tough for the kids of Lower Price Hill is to walk right up to where Queen City cleans drums that once contained hazardous waste. We did it, no problem.
You can see what's out here in this public area.
We don't know what that green stuff is. What we do know is that Queen City has been sued by the state for allowing hazardous waste liquid to leak out onto the street. Sued as well for air pollution violations. But the company, like other Lower Price Hill polluters, denies any responsibility for the children's health problems. You don't feel that the children of Lower Price Hill are suffering at all because of growing up so close to your facility?
No, sir, I really don't. And I think the children of Lower Price Hill, I think it's a shame that they're looking so much into this issue when I think there's a lot graver concerns down in this area.
Hall, like many others, believes these children are sick not because of where they live, but who they are, poor Appalachians. That argument made Pauletta Hansel so mad, she and other volunteers compiled hospital data that indicates Appalachian children in other Cincinnati neighborhoods are healthy. The kids of Lower Price Hill are not.
They're sicker. They're more at risk for developmental delays. They're more at risk for learning disabilities. They're more at risk for school failure and ultimately school dropout.
One more time. All right.
Pauletta says that's the legacy of the pollution the kids of Lower Price Hill have grown up with. Although intensive speech therapy will help some, Many will enter kindergarten unable to talk like their classmates. They'll never catch up, never finish school.
I want the glue, please.
I want pee.
Okay.
Pauletta says the blame for the children's failures is shared by many adults. Government officials slow to enforce pollution ordinances, politicians who have largely ignored this poor neighborhood, and the companies who continued to pollute the air.
This stuff goes into your system and it stays there for years and years and years, and it goes into our children's system and it stays there. What is it going to do to them? God knows. It's scary to think 40 years down the line what the children in this neighborhood are when they're adults. What's going to happen?
But inside the Santa Maria Center, you can already see that something has happened to the children of Lower Price Hill. Just listen to kids like Stephen, Donovan, Michael, and Joshua. You'll know the damage is already done.
He says, I do not.
Good.
Where do you go to school?
With the roti cash.
Are you going to go now?
Yeah.
What do you say?
Thank you.
Thank you? Okay. Bye.
And they're off. In the race for success.
Kids can't talk.
I want the glue, please.
I want pee.
Okay.
The I-Team found a lot of kids like Joshua on Lower Price Hill,
so many
4- and
eggs.
5-year-olds who can put just a few words together. We also found a growing body of evidence that may link pollution to an unusually high number of ear infections, infections that hurts these kids' ability to learn speech.
Have a big dog.
While kids like Stephen struggle to learn how to speak, politicians, community groups, even the health department struggles to find a way to help the children of Lower Price Hill. That isn't easy. Not only is there disagreement on what to do next, but in the absence of any absolute medical data linking the pollution to the kids' speech problems, some question whether there's a problem at all.
I believe that Channel 9 strongly implied that community people are claiming a link between health problems of children and pollution. And I would like to strongly rebut that the community has never made this claim.
But parents, doctors, and other professionals we talked to believe pollution may have harmed the children of Lower Price Hill. Although Gallagher's Community Council wants priority put on stopping the polluters rather than testing children for health problems, Health Commissioner Stan Brodnax disagrees.
I think, I hypothesize that there is a link, that pollution is a factor. I cannot prove it. I cannot go into court and prove it, but I think there is.
Brodnax is expected to win full council approval this week for a $100,000 plan to test 100 of Lower Price Hill's sickest kids. Brodnax says there simply isn't enough money to help the kids and also conduct expensive air tests to track down polluters. But some, like Pauletta Hansel, believe the city must find the cash to do both.
Don't debate whether or not we will ever have proof of a causal relationship.
The problem is pretty obvious.
The problem is obvious. There's a set of problems. Deal with them.
Right now, City Council is considering a new air pollution ordinance that could crack down on polluters. Supporters say while it does little to help the kids already in speech therapy, it just might help prevent yet another generation of kids who can't talk. Jay Schatz, Channel 9 News.
Today is Election Day in many parts of the tri-state. You still have about an hour to get out and vote. Here are some of the major issues facing residents of Hamilton County. One of the most controversial is Norwood's local option question.